very good evening and welcome to Newswatch this 25th day of January 2022. Thank you so much for joining us for the latest news on Hope TV. I'm Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter is Fiona Maresa. Let's begin. Two more bodies were on Monday retrieved from River Yala as families that have already identified their kinsmen accused the Directorate of Criminal Investigations of dragging the process of releasing the bodies for burial. Confirming the retrievals, Gem Sub-County Police Commander Charles Chacha said the bodies were taken to Yala Sub-County Hospital mortuary that is already overstretched. This now brings to 23 the number of unknown persons discovered along the river. Speaking to journalists at the Gem Sub-County Hospital, relatives who have identified their kin's bodies lamented what they called unnecessary delays in collection, with the homicide team from the DCI headquarters insisting that a DNA test must be conducted to ascertain if the identified bodies belong to the claimants. Human rights activists led by Haki Africa Executive Director Khalid Hussein and activist Boniface Mwangi have called on the government to allow the families that have positively identified the bodies of their kinsmen to bury their loved ones.
Tulianza safari njana kuja huku kujua mambo ya ndugu yetu ambaye tulikuja on Thursday na tukamuidentify. Lakini wakati tumekuja huku tulifika asubuhi saa 2 DCI tukaongea nao, tukaambiwa madaktari wamekuja wafanye postmortem na DNA, na hata wa sasa postmortem DNA asijafanywa. DCI wamekuja hapa wakafanya vitu vyao wakaenda. Tumetoka mbali all the way from Machakos, Kangundo. Sasa na wamemaliza na wameenda. Hatujui sasa ni itaisha kesho, DNA itafanywa kesho, postmortem itafanywa kesho ama itafanywa lini.
Tumeonyeshwa mwili, hatujaonyeshwa mwili yote, tumeonyeshwa tu kichwa. I wanted the institution to tell us, to show us the real body of my brother, because they are playing games here.
We lost our brother Philemon, and all we want is justice and for them to release the body so we can put him to rest.
The majority of the bodies, identity remains unknown. We have about 3 or 4 only. Now, what is agonizing is that these families have come from very far, some as far as Machakos, and all they want is the body of their loved one so that they can go and rest and bury them so that they can rest in peace. We are very concerned that the process of releasing those bodies is taking unnecessarily very long. We understand that we are awaiting the chief pathologist to get here. We have received very good cooperation from the DCI, but we are appealing to the pathologists to make it easier for the families. They are already undergoing a lot of mental, psychological torture. So the least we can do is speed up this process.
7 people in Yala, they don't know anyone here, they're staying in hotels, wananunua chakula, it's very expensive. Tunajua kwamba watu wa DCI wote, umeona gari zao za DCI ni mingi sana. Wale wako na PDM, wamekuja hapa kufanya kazi. Chini familia wazike. Because you can't keep families here for days on end.
Let's get to some politics now. President Uhuru Kenyatta has held a meeting with a cross-section of Western Kenyan leaders who paid him a courtesy visit at State House, Nairobi. The head of state assured the leaders drawn from the 5 Western Kenya counties of Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia, Trans Nzoia and Vihiga of the government's commitment to ensure all ongoing development projects in the populous region are completed as scheduled. On their part, the leaders, who included Defense Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa and Governors Wycliffe Oparanya of Kakamega, Wycliffe Wangamati of Bungoma, Wilbur Otichilo of Vihiga and Sospita Ojamong Busia, thanked the president for the various development projects which they said had transformed the lives and well-being of the people of Western Kenya. The leaders particularly thanked President Kenyatta for his timely intervention that led to the degazettement of Chetambe Hills as a national forest reserve. The enforcement of the July 2021 gazettement of the heavily settled 406 acres of land would have led to the displacement of over 10,000 residents of Maraka and Miho wards in Webuye East constituency, Bungoma County. And a section of members of parliament has vowed to rally behind the Amani National Congress ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi after he teamed up with Deputy President William Ruto. The leaders who spoke Tuesday during their first meeting with Mudavadi just 2 days after he launched his 2022 presidential bid at Bomas insisted that the presence of Deputy President William Ruto at Sunday's meeting does not show that Mudavadi has shelved his presidential ambitions. Muhaya Member of Parliament Omboko Milembe said part of Tuesday's meeting was to set the record straight that Mudavadi's journey to the presidency is on course.
Tunasema kushirikiana ya kisiasa ya machama ni mwanzo mpya ya kuelekea kufanya mshirikiano, lakini Musalia Mudavadi bado ako kwa debe na tunafanya tukiwa tunashirikiana na chama ya UDA. Mengi yatachambuliwa na mengi yatajitokeza hivi karibuni, lakini kwa mwanzo tunasema hiyo mtetemeko ya ardhi muliona ni mwanzo mpya ya siasa ya Kenya, na tunasema hongera kwa kiongozi Musalia Mudavadi na tunampongeza na tunambashiri.
Wale ambao walikuwa wakisema party leader wetu haonekani, huu ni wakati wa kwanza kuonekana. Kutoka tulivyoanzisha Jumapili na yale aliyoyazungumza juu ya hii nchi, huo ndio ujumbe ambao tunawapelekea wananchi moja kwa moja, waweze kutafakari na waweze kujua kwamba kikosi hiki ndio ambacho kitaweza kuwakomboa, ndio ambazo kitaweza kuwasaidia kuona kwamba kufikia tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 ule pesa mfukoni ambao kila mwananchi anahitaji anaanza kupata kupitia kwa kinara wetu Musalia Mudavadi.
Our party leader Musalia Mudavadi will be going for presidency and nothing else. And therefore, as we form these coalitions, we are making friends who will assist us to actually make Musalia Mudavadi a president of this particular country. And you will agree with me in total that many silent voices outside there are of the same opinion that this is the correct candidate to lead this particular country moving forward, not anything withstanding. And therefore, we want to put it straight and clearly to our followers, our spectators, and our fans, together with our supporters, that that's where we are headed to. But in this course, we shall have many, many friends, not only the ones we have gathered, but many others who will be willing to come to this particular cause.
Our Deputy President William Ruto has defended the United Democratic Alliance's move to work with ANC, Ford Kenya, and other political formations. He said the union will unite, transform, and tackle political conmanship in the country. Dr. Ruto said their coming together will crush the tribal agenda driven by a section of leaders. Ruto spoke when he met leaders from Laikipia North constituency led by the woman representative Kate Waruguru. At the same time, the DP, who is also the UDA party leader, chaired a joint meeting of National Executive Committee, NEC, and National Elections Board, NEB, at his current office. The party leader congratulated the newly inaugurated NEB and reminded them of the heavy task ahead of conducting free and fair nominations.
Tumeungana na watu wengine wengi. Mulisikia rafiki yetu kiongozi Musalia Mudavadi na kundi lake la ANC, Mheshimiwa Moses Wetangula na kundi lake la Ford Kenya wameungana na sisi UDA katika kupanga umoja ya Wakenya. Nia yetu ni kuunganisha taifa lote la Kenya. Ile siasa tumekataa ni siasa ya kugawanya Wakenya katika misingi ya kabila na dini na kijiji na kona. Kwa sababu kuna wale wanasukuma vyama ambazo zimetengenezwa ya sehemu na kijiji na kabila fulani, na hizi chama zinatengenezwa saa hizi kwa sababu wako na njama ya kujaribu kugawanya Wakenya, ndio watu wachache waendelee kuwa na usemi, waendelee kuamulia Wakenya wengine, kwa sababu hawataki Wakenya waungane, kwa sababu Wakenya wakiungana, wakiwa na umoja, watakuwa na uwezo wa kujiamulia yale mambo wanahitaji. Lakini wakigawanywa katika vikundi kidogo kidogo, inakuwa rahisi kuamua mambo juu yao. This slave mentality that some people believe that Kenyans cannot make their decisions and Kenyans cannot join whatever formation they want out of free will, that they need to ask for permission from certain quarters. That slave mentality must stop in Kenya, and we will break it this year.
And discord is brewing between Makueni Governor Professor Kivutha Kibwana and his deputy Adelina Mwau after Mwau decamped to Deputy President William Ruto's UDA party on Tuesday. Kivutha Kibwana dismissed the move by Mwau to join UDA, terming it a clandestine dealing, adding that Makueni people have expressed their intention to support the Azimio la Umoja coalition and will not be hoodwinked by people seeking self-aggrandizement. As Kennedy Kimani now reports, the deputy governor, who has served for the maximum two-term limit, is eyeing the Makueni woman representative seat in the August general election.
Makueni Governor Kivutha Kibwana has disowned his deputy Adelina Mwau after Mwau decamped to Deputy President William Ruto's UDA party on Tuesday, where she was received by the DP at his official residence in Karen. In a statement issued on Tuesday, Kivutha Kibwana said, and I quote, "My attention has been drawn to clandestine dealings between Adelina Mwau, the Deputy Governor of Makueni County, and UDA. She had even pledged to take with her a huge delegation of our common political friends to UDA, who declined our overtures. I wish to categorically make it clear, Makueni people have expressed the intention to support Azimio la Umoja and will not be hoodwinked by people seeking self-aggrandizement. While I respect Adelina for the good working relations for the last 9 years, her latest move puts our working together on the edge. The voice of the people of Makueni has always been our guide in decision-making. I will not abandon that principle for political expediency. Adelina will walk alone." End of quote. Mwau was elected into office in 2013 on a joint ticket with Governor Kivutha Kibwana under the Muungano Party. The duo was later re-elected into office in 2017 on a Wiper ticket, but have both ditched the Wiper Party and joined UDA and Muungano parties respectively. The move by Mwau comes after Sare MP Charles Njagwa also joined DP Ruto's camp on Monday. Adelina Mwau, who has served for the maximum two-term limit, is eyeing the Makueni women rep seat in the August polls. Kennedy Kimani, Hope TV Newswatch.
Away from that, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, failed to hit the targeted number of new registered voters during the first week of the second phase of the campaign. The commission only registered a total of 229,843 new voters against the weekly target of 1.4 million. This being a clear indication that the exercise is experiencing low turnout across the country. Dickens Luvanda tells us more.
1 week after the launch of the second phase of the enhanced continuous voter registration exercise, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is yet to start the exercise as earlier scheduled in Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the United Arab Emirates and Ottawa, Toronto and Vancouver in Canada.
New voters.
Even though the exercise started in the United Kingdom on Tuesday, the Commission is attributing the delay to the prevailing COVID-19 containment measures instituted in the two countries, noting that it will advise on when the registration exercise will be conducted in the United Arab Emirates and Canada once the COVID-19 containment measures are eased.
Kwa majina naitwa Anastasia Mutua na nasimamia mambo ya uchaguzi kwa hii kaunti ya Narok. Target yetu kwa wakati huu ni 69,000. Hiyo ndio target ya Narok kaunti yote. Tukiwa wakati ule mwingine tulimanage kuregister 35,000. Tuko na 40 educators katika kila ward wawili, na hao wanatusaidia sana kumobilize wale bado hawajachukua kura.
The exercise is witnessing low turnout across the country, with the IEBC failing to hit its weekly target of 1.4 million new registered voters during the first week. Instead, IEBC says it only registered a total of 229,843 new voters. The Commission received 34,928 requests for transfer and 345 applications for change of particulars across the country, while 163 new voters, as well as 184 requests for transfer and 136 applications for change of particulars were recorded in diaspora. Political leaders have joined the commission to come out in large numbers and register in the one-month drive, which kicked off in all the 1,450 county assembly wards, institutions of higher learning and huduma centers, so as to participate in the August 9th elections.
Tunawaomba wananchi wajitokeze sana, na wale bado hawajachukua ID cards. Kuna chiefs bado wako na ID cards, zingine siko kwa registrar of person. People with disabilities pia tunaomba tukue pia tumeshikana, tunaweza kujua mahali wako, ndio pia tuweze kupeleka kiti mahali wako.
The second phase of the drive targets to register 4.6 million new voters. Deacon Sulvanda, Hope TV Newswatch.
The Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, Vice Chairperson Juliana Cherera has assured Kenyans that the 2022 general election will be peaceful. Speaking at the Kilifi County Commissioner's Office after conducting voter registration assessment, Cherera said all security agents have been put on high alert as the Commission looks to conduct a free and fair election devoid of violence. The Commission, she said, has partnered with the National Police Service and together have already established the Election Security Arrangement Program, ESAP. The Commission has also partnered with administrators, religious leaders and the media to sensitize members of the public to come out and register as voters.
Sisi kama commissioner tumeenda mashinani tuone kazi hii inaenda vipi. Tumemaliza wiki moja tangu tuanze shughuli hii ya usajili ya watu kupiga kura, na tunaona tarakimu ama nambari zimeongezeka. Tukicompare with the first phase na saizi angalau we are doing well. So we are urging, tunawasihi wa Kenya wote ambao wamepata vitambulisho, vijana wajitokeze waweze wakaandikishwe.
Hii kaunti tunatarajia kusajili wapiga kura karibu 113,000 na wakati huu ni karibu 8,000 tu ambao wamesajiliwa. Pili, tulikuwa na changamoto ya vitambulisho, lakini hiyo tumezungumza na maafisa ambao wanahusika na hiyo na tumetatua hiyo. Kwamba wale vijana wote ambao wamefika miaka 18 tutaharakisha hiyo fast tracking RRI, Rapid Resource Initiative. Na pia kuna wale ambao vitambulisho vimekuja lakini hawajachukua. Hiyo pia tumekubaliana na maafisa ya ngazi ya chini, ma chiefs na assistant chiefs, waende waangalie zile, alafu waweke hiyo majina chini, waende watangazie wale vijana kwamba vitambulisho vyao viko.
Napenda kutoa mwito kwa wakazi wetu wa kaunti zote hizi tatu ya kwamba waweze kujitokeza kwa wingi kuweza kujiandikisha kama wapigaji kura, maana kura yako ni sauti yako kama inavyosema tume ya uchaguzi. Kwa hivyo niombe ya kwamba badala ya watu kupiga kelele kwamba hatufanyiwi hili wala lile, wajitokeze kwa wingi kuchukua kadi za kura ili tuweze kuwa na nafasi nzuri ya kuchagua viongozi watakaoweza kutufaa.
Civil and human rights organizations across the country under the Angaza movement have called on Kenyans to turn up in large numbers and register as voters ahead of the August polls. Even as the second phase of the enhanced voter registration is ongoing, Front Trust Executive Director Daisy Amdani noted that electoral integrity must be upheld and all stakeholders must take charge to ensure a credible and fair election. Speaking during the launch of Angaza movement in Mombasa County that brings together civil and human rights organizations from across the country, the officials were clear on their statement in their campaign to champion credible and fair election.
We want an elections with an outcome that is fair and just for everybody. Are our systems ready to respond to electoral disputes? Are our systems ready to respond to election offenses? We do not think so. And that is why we are calling all Kenyans to join this movement, so that we are able to call upon institutions that are supposed not only to stand for the rule of law, but also ensure disputes on elections are just and fair outcomes.
We have seen voter apathy. People are not interested in registering to vote, but we know an election is going to take place. And so we are encouraging Kenyans to turn out and vote, to register as voters, so that we may vote and take back our country, and begin to demand for leaders of integrity. We're seeing a lot of malpractice from duty bearers, abuse of office, things just being used haphazardly. IEBC, we are counting on IEBC to enforce the Electoral Code of Conduct, as they said, now that the timelines have been, announced. We want to see candidates being barred. We want to see this thing of zoning. And above all else, we want to see inclusion. You know that we have been struggling with the 2/3 gender principle. The dissolution of parliament was ordered. Everything has been ignored. We are going for an election without a clear framework. So we want also to encourage women to participate, not just as voters, but also as leaders. We want to see how political parties are bringing in women, youth, persons with disability, those marginalized groups. Article 81, we have not seen anything about the people living with disabilities. We are supposed to have at least 5% in elective offices. So there's a lot that is not happening. We have a constitution only on paper.
With that, let's now take a short commercial break on Newswatch. We'll be back with more stories making headlines in the country. Do stay with Hope TV.
From country music, classical quartet harmonics, now I'm a child, homecoming series, for he saved the worst among, tent revival, and many more.
I'm gonna lay down my burden, down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Watch these great musical adventures on The Bill Gaither Show, featuring Gaither Vocal Band, Linda Randall,
For the God on the mountain.
and many other series like The Alaskan Cruise.
And now I'm feeling mighty fine.
These gospel favorites, recorded in front of beautiful sceneries, guaranteed to rejuvenate your love for gospel music. Bill Gaither Show, only on Hope TV, where you look and live. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The Senate Assembly has Tuesday resumed its sittings, with the political parties' amendment bill being among the top priority discussions. The session that saw senators debate the bill also saw senators allied to the Deputy President William Ruto claim that some of their colleagues and Senate staff have been barred from traveling out of the country. The leaders claim the order barring them from exiting the country has been issued by the executive due to the pending coalition's bill. As Grace Ngoi reports, the lawmakers said some of their colleagues were denied clearance by immigration officials.
The final leg of the 12th Parliament is here. Members of the bicameral House resumed their sittings on Thursday afternoon, January 25th, to begin their sixth and final session that began in August 2017. The resumption comes 2 weeks earlier than the intended date, following the adoption of the calendar of the 2021 House. Being an electioneering year, the schedule for the August House is expected to be tight and busy. With the election day drawing closer, top on the agenda for the National Assembly will be all elections-related legislative business. The House is awaiting the decision of the Senate on the contentious Political Parties Amendment Bill, which is currently at the public participation stage. Addressing senators, Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka called on members to exercise restraint and decorum, even as violence erupted in the National Assembly during the discussion of the contentious bill. Senate is expected to sit until Thursday this week before they proceed for recess until February 8th.
Honorable Senators, in this regard, I direct that all amendments to the Political Parties Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 56 of 2021, must be submitted to the Office of the Clerk by Wednesday, 26 January 2022 at 2:30 p.m. with no exception. Any amendment tomorrow. Any amendment received after this time will not be accepted. Honorable Senators, as we debate the Political Parties Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 56 of 2021, I urge that we exercise restraint, maintain decorum that is expected of a functional legislature, and adhere to the standing orders. The Senate stands guided.
At the same time, some senators expressed dissatisfaction with what they termed as unnecessary influence by the executive that has seen foreign travels for the senators and their staff banned until the Political Parties Amendment Bill is passed. According to the senators, the move infringes on their constitutional rights. Kericho Senator Aaron Cheruiyot was first to raise the issue on the floor moments after a report of a committee on the controversial bill was tabled.
On 2 or 3 occasions, I've received news that senators, in the course of going about their duties, and sometimes part of their duties involved traveling out of the country, have been stopped at the various border points and being told that there is a directive from the executive that no senator should travel outside the country until we finish consideration of this bill that is before this House.
Assuming, Mr. Speaker, that there is a desire for senators to be in this House to debate any matter, no law obligates every senator to sit in the House. They may sit in the House, and now that we even debate through different medium, via Zoom and other mediums, a member sitting in a committee in UAE or in US or wherever can participate in the proceedings of this House.
And this issue is bigger than just our staff and the members. It's about the independence of institutions. And it's also about freedoms and rights, Mr. Speaker.
I wanted to say the matters raised are very serious. They affect us as an institution, an independent institution, and I'm seized of the matter, and I want you to give me 2 weeks to get all the information and bring a report here on exactly what happened.
Other priority businesses include the nomination of persons to the Equalization Fund Board, approval of the appointment of persons to SRC representing the National Police Service, which is currently before the Finance Committee. Other legislations include the Huduma Bill 2021, the Children Bill 2021, the Public Procurement and Asset Disposal Amendment Bill 2021, the Coffee Bill 2021, among others.
Bill be amended by deleting Clause 4.
Grace Ngoi, FOP TV Newswatch.
Lack of choice of a running mate from the Mount Kenya region in Deputy President William Ruto's camp will bring an advantage to the Azimio La Umoja camp. While speaking to the press at Lamuria, Kenya constituency, area MP Kanini Kega said that a political alliance between Ruto and Mudavadi witnessed at the Bomas of Kenya on Sunday is an expression of political deceit. Kanini has accused Ruto of political hypocrisy, saying leaders from the region should meet and strategize on the way forward, including declaring support for Raila Odinga. Kanene said the leaders will meet under the Jubilee with the president to chart their political future.
Let Musalia Mudavadi not lie to Kenyans. He is aiming at the sun, very well knowing that he is going to the moon. He is actually going to deputize William Ruto. There is no question about it, because William Ruto cannot deputize Musalia Mudavadi. That is obvious, because the constitution provides that the deputy president can only be a deputy president for 2 terms, and the deputy president William Ruto has already completed his 2 terms. So in essence, it means that William Ruto will be the presidential candidate, and Musalia Mudavadi will deputize him. So it begs the question for those Mount Kenya leaders who have been going around touting themselves as running mate and touting themselves to be sitting at the high table. Yesterday, it was very clear that they are not on the high table. There is no person who is in the mountain and who was given a proper opportunity, to showcase our issues of the mountain. That one tells you that they have been relegated to the periphery. When Deputy Ruto came to the Mount Kenya, he said that he is not going to allow any political party from the mountain, and he actually labeled them tribal. But when now he goes to Western, a party like Ford Kenya, which I think has 1 senator and about 2 members of parliament, is now considered a national party. When he also goes to Western, a party, ANC, led by Musalia Mudavadi, ANC, he's now being considered as a partner, in that coalition. But for us in the mountain, with our big parties, with so many members of parliament, with so many governors, the deputy president doesn't want any party to thrive in Mount Kenya. That one tells you that he wants to negotiate with our party, with us. He wants to negotiate with other people through us. And of course, that is total mischief.
Education stakeholders from Kajiado County have raised concern over the high number of school dropouts and children being out of school despite attaining school age. Speaking while marking the International Day of Education in Loitoktok, the education stakeholders stated retrogressive culture as the major challenge affecting education in the county. Dole Murigi has more.
Despite different programs undertaken in the county to sensitize school-going programs and stakeholders' involvement in the education matters, school dropouts have continued to increase in Kajiado County. Several students have been missing school for some time as stakeholders underscore myriad challenges affecting the education sector in the region. Retrogressive cultures including FGM, early marriages and parent ignorance on formal education are termed as some of the challenges in the region. Additional school charges by school management have been said to contribute to a high number of school dropouts.
Challenges zenye watoto wanaopitia kwa sasa kama wakati huu ni mambo ya kiangazi. Wengi wanakosa kuja shuleni kwa sababu hakuna lishe la kuja kula. Hakuna lishe la wao kuja kupata shuleni. Na pia ile distance yenye wanatembea kutoka manyumbani kwao mpaka shuleni ni ndefu sana. Kwa hivyo utapata wengi wao wanakosa kuja shuleni na pia wazazi wamelegea.
Stakeholders now want the Ministry of Education to undertake a holistic approach on education involving all stakeholders.
Ni majukumu ya wazazi, ni majukumu ya walimu, ni majukumu ya Ministry of Education, ni majukumu ya kila mzazi na ni majukumu yetu wote tukue pamoja ndio tuhakikishe watoto wote wako mashuleni. Kwa sababu nasema hivyo, unapata kuna changamoto kwa kila upande. Mtoto wako shuleni amelipiwa school fees, lakini kuna mara anafukuzwa nyumbani.
In the last one term, more than 900 students have dropped out of school, according to Kajiado South District Education Officer. He said out of the 100%, only 78% of students will sit for the national examination.
Elimu haitakuwa bora iwapo tutakuwa na idadi fulani ya wanafunzi ambao hawamo shuleni, maana wataingilia katika dawa za kulevya, tutakuwa na mimba za mapema, ndoa ambazo hazistahili au ambazo hazikupangwa, na hilo litatatiza juhudi zote za kielimu katika eneo la Loitoktok.
Acknowledging the problem, the local administration said they have been combing the villages to ensure all children attend classes and reduce the number of dropouts.
We agree that there are some challenges, yes, but it's something that we are working on. Na mimi ningeomba tu kwa wale ambao wanaotusikiliza waweze kushikana pamoja nasi, ikiwa ni wazazi, ikiwa ni washikadau wengine, kwamba tuhakikishe watoto wetu wako wapi? Wako katika madarasa.
Dolly Mirigi, Hope TV, Newswatch.
The National Lands Commission NLC Vice Chair Gertrude Ngoko has hit back at Justice Said Juma Chitembwe for his remarks that the Commission has no powers to handle private land issues. Chitembwe, through his lawyer, said the NLC only had the mandate to deal with land allotment cases, adding that any private land dispute can be heard by the Land and Environment Court. The High Court judge is among 47 individuals and companies listed in the disputed prime land reportedly belonging to Nyali Primary School. Ngoko, who defended the commission, said NLC can investigate any kind of matters dealing with land.
We have the mandate to administer land. According to the Constitution, it is only this commission that can administer public land for counties and for the national government. It is only this commission that has the mandate for public land administration. What does that mean? It means we inherited all the duties and responsibilities of the former Commissioner of Lands. That means we are the ones who are able to interrogate the whole process of allocation all the way up to the registration stage. The Minister of Lands only has responsibility to deal with the registration of land. So if there is any question or any dispute which arises about allocation of land or occupation of land by a public institution, okay, these are two issues. It's only this commission that has the mandate to interrogate that process. And as the commission of the mandate, it not only has that mandate, but it has that mandate in the supreme law of the land, which is the Constitution. Under Article 252, all commissions, including this one, has got the mandate and the capacity to interview witnesses, call them, receive documents, and go through them to resolve disputes.
The government is fast-tracking building of houses for families that lost their homes to banditry attacks in Olmoran, Laikipia West constituency last year. Laikipia County Commissioner Joseph Kanyiri, while on a tour to inspect the ongoing construction program at Kisindogo village in Olmoran, said 19 houses have already been put up to resettle the families. He said life is getting back to normalcy as a result of enhanced security patrols. Efforts to reunite various communities living in the area have been intensified after months of attacks.
Hata ingawa wakati hii maneno itendeke, hata majirani sahihi wameanza kusema ya kwamba ni kama shetani alikuwa anapita. Sasa hata hao wamekemea hiyo shetani. Hata sisi tunawaambia wakati kwa mkutano, ikiwa mnakemea hiyo mambo ya hiyo shetani, wacha itoroke kabisa, na hakuna wakati utaweza kukaa bila jirani. Lazima ukae na jirani, hiyo ndio mtaweza kukaa mzuri. Sasa hata saa hii naona amani imerudi. Hata wakati wa mkutano tunatangaza amani irudi. Saa hii amani iko, hata wako hapa tunaongea na hao, tunashirikiana na wao pamoja. Kwa hivyo amani imerudi.
Tunaleta ile vigingi, tunaweka vigito, tunakanyaga matobe, tunashindilia matobe ndani, alafu nyumba inakuwa nyumba ya kawaida kama permanent. Tuko pamoja kwa maana sisi ni kikundi moja, tunakaa hapa Kisindogo. Kama tuko na usalama uzuri, tunaona hapa kwetu imeanza kukua vizuri. Tukijenga nyumba yetu, tukimaliza tutarudi makwetu, tutarudi sambani, tuanze kufanya kazi bila tulikuwa tunafanya wakati tulikuwa hapa.
Where we are now, we are seeing the reconstruction of houses that in a disturbed area within Olmoran, the communities are getting to settle down. We have done 19 houses. Most of these will be mud wall houses. However, others have been done using stabilized soil, interlocking stabilized soil blocks. And we hope that by March, the communities will have settled and they'll be engaged in farming. While we are also here, we've watched, assessed the construction of CBC classrooms at Olmoran Secondary School. And we are happy that life is getting back to normal. Normalcy is being restored by our security agencies and the community. And through peace meetings and community dialogue forums, we have emphasized on the need for the communities inhabiting Olmoran, and to a large extent Kerema sub-county, to live in peace and respect the cultural diversities that are here, so that development is realized fast.
Let's look at what is happening internationally. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has been partly blamed for the current unrest in Burkina Faso and other parts of Sahel region in recent months. In an interview with international media, the Executive Director for Africa's Center for Security and Counterterrorism, Emmanuel Cotin, says ECOWAS is becoming dysfunctional in the discharge of its duties. Soldiers in Burkina Faso on Monday announced on state television that they have seized power following a mutiny. According to security sources, the president was arrested and detained along with the head of parliament and ministers. Before this attempted coup in Burkina Faso, there had been successful coups in Chad, Mali, Guinea, and failed military takeovers in Niger and Sudan. And presidential candidates in the Libyan elections have renewed their calls for elections in a forum held on Monday in the capital, Tripoli. Libya failed to hold presidential elections on December 24th, raising anxiety about the future of the country and the fragile peace process. In varied opinions, one presidential candidate said it's essential to mobilize public opinion, while another presidential hopeful wants the involvement of the international community, namely the European Union and the United Nations. Last Thursday, Libyan presidential candidates introduced an initiative to the UN mission in the country. The aim of the initiative is to overcome several obstacles facing the political process, such as inadequate electoral laws regarding the role of the judiciary in electoral appeals and disputes raised by the Parliamentary Electoral Committee.
Hope TV is now available on GoTV channel 103, Zuku channel 873, Signet channel 817, and StarTimes channel 026. Enjoy our uplifting content and family-friendly programming anytime. Hope TV, you look and live.
Let's continue with business news. SBM Bank Kenya has announced a 1.6 billion shilling mid-term debt facility to B-Box Kenya to support the finance of affordable solar home systems to over 470,000 Kenyans. Garant CEO, a part of the private infrastructure development group, has supported the transaction with 1.2 billion shillings, a partial guarantee, 75% against the loan facility. The funds will be used by B-Box Kenya to purchase a new inventory over the next 2 years, including 89,600 solar home systems and essential appliances such as fridges and phones. These are expected to serve 470,000 people, 80% of whom are based in rural areas and the majority of whom currently use torches and non-traditional fuel as their main source of lighting. Commenting on the tripartite transaction arrangement, Jotham Mutoka, SBM Bank Kenya's Deputy Chief Executive Officer, said the bank is elated to spark the growth of the energy sector in Kenya through partnerships with like-minded entities. The Kenya Agricultural Livestock Organization, KALRO, has introduced improved breeds of dairy cattle and grass that are adapted to harsh climatic conditions as a measure to mitigate the current effects of drought on animals. KALRO's Director General, Dr. Eliud Kirege, says the improved crossbreeding between the indigenous Sahiwal and exotic Fresian was resistant to most pests and diseases and had the potential of yielding 30 liters of milk per day.
17 counties out of 21 in the NARIC project have chosen dairy as their priority value chain. As a research organization, we support the farming community, both livestock and agricultural, by developing technologies, innovations, and management practices to increase production and productivity and make the sector profitable. So today we are here training farmers on in the dairy subsector. As you are aware, the dairy subsector is a very important sector in this country. Despite the fact that we say we are the most developed in sub-Saharan Africa, we still have a lot of challenges. And the one you can remember is in the last few months, there was an outcry about the cost of feed, the cost of livestock feed. That is one of the challenges farmers face. The feed, disease control, availability of good breeding material. As you're also aware, most of these animals are in ASAL areas. You know, 80% of Kenya is classified as arid and semi-arid. In those ASAL areas, we have many challenges of feed, we have many challenges of disease, we have many challenges of adaptability to those conditions. So a lot of the livestock the dairy livestock that are kept in the high potential areas are the imported European breeds like the Holstein Friesians, the Ayrshire, the Jersey, the Guernsey. But in the arid and semi-arid areas, those kind of animals don't do very well.
Most of the large sizes are small, and most of our farmers are yet to embrace the issue of intensive dairy farming. But we believe that with this training on technologies and innovations, the farmers will be able to grow the type of fodder grasses and the pastures and the fodder trees that will be able to produce more biomass so that the animals can have enough feed. So that by the time we move.
And some sports news now. Kenya's teen tennis sensation Angela Kutoyi made history today, progressing to the third round of the Australian Open Junior Championship after beating home girl Zara Lack. Kutoyi, the second Kenyan to ever play at the Australian Open, beat the Australian girl with a 7-6, 5-7, 6-1 score to book a third round ticket. She has now booked a date with Serbian Lola Radivojevic in the third round, where the African under-18 champions looks to make more history. The Kenyan had started off her campaign with a 2-1 victory over Italy's Federica Algesi, recording scores of 6-4, 6-7, and 6-3. The men's national rugby 7 side, Shujaa, have been drawn in a tricky Pool D ahead of the fourth HSBC World Rugby 7 Series outing the 2021-22 season that is set to take place in Seville, Spain from Friday 28th to Sunday 30th January 2022. The Innocent Namco's Simiyu coached side have been pooled against Australia, Canada and Scotland. In Pool A, which only has 3 teams due to Fiji's COVID-19 and forced absence, Blazing South Africa are pooled alongside USA and Spain. Pool B has Malaga's 7th runners-up, Argentina, Ireland, and invitational sides Germany and Jamaica. All right, we've come to the end of this broadcast. Many thanks for staying with us. Till next time, God bless. I'm Tony Omondi and our sign language interpreter has been Fiona Moresa. Have a good night.